You guys have been asking us to check out some more 4K high refresh rate IPS panels, so today we're checking out a pretty interesting panel from MSI. We've covered heaps of different MSI panels on the channel, but I think the MSI Optix MPG 321URQD is probably the most interesting one yet. This is a monster of a panel. Let's take a closer look. I've been using this panel for about a week to play games on and to tinker with, and I think I've given it a pretty good run to see if it's any good. The more I use these larger 4K panels for gaming, the more of them I want to get into test, because yeah, 4K at this size and this refresh rate rather is really nice. Now, the MSI Optix MPG 321URQD features a 32-inch IPS panel with a resolution of 3840 by 2160 with a peak brightness of 600 nits. It also features a 144Hz refresh rate with DisplayPort 1.4a and a 120Hz refresh rate with HDMI 2.1. It's got a zero bezel design with a matte anti-glare screen surface as well. This flat panel has a response time of 1 millisecond. It also features AMD's FreeSync Premium Adaptive Sync technology as well as NVIDIA G-Sync, and I had no issues when I used it as well. Now, I also usually test this for an extended period of time, and it worked flawlessly. The 321URQD is a 10-bit panel and also supports full 10-bit mode. It supports 143% of the sRGB color space, 97% of the DCI-P3 color space, and it has an Adobe RGB mode that we'll come back to a little bit later. The 321URQD has a 178-degree wide viewing angle with a 1000:1 contrast ratio. It is also fully HDR 600 certified with 8 local dimming zones. The 321URQD also has standard 100mm VESA mounting, so mounting it to an existing or a compatible monitor solution should work just fine. The included stand is also fully height, tilt, and swivel adjustable. There's no rotation adjustment here, you just don't need it for a panel of this size. As far as connectivity, the 321URQD is jam-packed with it. It features 2 HDMI 2.1 ports, a single DisplayPort 1.4a port with DisplayStream compression, a headphone output, a microphone input, a USB Type-C port, 3 USB Type-B uplink ports for the 6 USB Type-A ports. This monitor also has an internal KVM that allows you to connect up to 4 devices or computers to it and to be able to share those peripherals across all 4 machines, so it means you don't have to unplug anything. Now, this goes a step further than regular KVMs though, because it allows you to transfer files between machines through that KVM as well. And judging by what we've seen this year with monitors that we've covered, I think KVMs will just become standard, and that's definitely something that I can get behind, as I personally use a dedicated level 1 TEX KVM on my main setup every single day. So not having a dedicated box and having it built into the panel, I'm all about that. The out-of-the-box calibration is decent for a gaming monitor. There are some other calibration features that are hidden away that will be addressed in a firmware update according to MSI, but that allows you to enable Pro Mode color profiles, like the dedicated DCI-P3 color mode and Adobe RGB modes as well. This means this panel can not only be used for gaming, but it's a pretty accurate display for content creation as well. Here's the thing though, I didn't actually change any of the settings out of the box at all because I didn't need to. It was pretty spot on straight out of the box. The only thing that I did was I reduced the brightness because you can strain your eyes, and I usually set it to about 20% in SDR mode because this thing is very, very bright, and I found that that 20% was more than adequate for SDR. However, I recommend using this monitor in HDR mode since it has 8 local dimming zones and is fully HDR 600 certified. It's far more impressive in HDR. The build quality is excellent. It is very premium and you're not gonna have any issues with this at all. Now, it's very gamery with the design on the rear. This may or may not be your cup of tea, I don't know, but I don't think it matters too much. And that kind of leads me into another thing on the rear design. It's got RGB accents on the rear of the panel. The lighting for that can be controlled in MSI's Mystic Light software, and you can sync it with any other MSI devices or hardware that you have, but I think they should remove RGB from the back of monitors. it doesn't really serve a purpose other than making it look good in product photos. You can't even see it. It's kind of pointless. The 321 URQD has a little nub-style joystick on the back right-hand side of the screen for the menu system, and it's really easy to use and everything is very easy to understand. However, you don't really need to use this since, much like all of the other MSI panels that we've covered over the last however long, it also features software control. You can also reassign the directions on that little joystick, so if you press it left or right or whatnot, you can have that as a quick access feature. Now, if you're using this for a KVM, I would suggest setting this up, otherwise you're gonna have to dig through a menu to get to it. Also, to address some comments that we've had on previous monitor videos with software integration, this applies to every monitor like this, regardless of who makes it. You need to attach the included USB cable to be able to use these features so you can control everything in software. It won't work straight over HDMI or DisplayPort alone. It just doesn't work like that. That leads me into the next thing. This panel supports 4K 120Hz with HDMI 2.1 on both the Xbox Series X and the PS5. Now, I don't currently have access to an Xbox for testing, but with the PS5, I had no issues whatsoever. For gaming, the MSI 321 URQD is really, really good. The colors are great, the experience is excellent, and overall, to be honest, this is probably the best 32-inch 4K panel that I've ever used, and I've tested quite a few of these, and here's why. At the right viewing distance, it's a nice mix of pixel density and size. On a regular depth desk from around 60 centimeters to around 75 centimeters, the 321 URQD is spot on. Any closer than 60 centimeters or just past your arm's length, or for regular arm length anyway, I think it would be a bit too close, but most desks are around 60 centimeters anyway, unless you have a weird edge case where your desk is much closer, then I probably wouldn't recommend it. So just a bit further than arm's length, you should be good to go. The HDR experience is a lot better than I expected. Even at 600 nits, I feel like it's more than adequate for HDR gaming and for HDR content consumption as well. I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything given the peak brightness of only 600 nits. And I say only 600 nits, that's still quite bright. Here's the thing, if I sit down and I really tried to think about this monitor, there's nothing I can really think of that I didn't like about the 321 URQD, other than the unnecessarily long model number. MSI really needs to address this. It's just too much for a normal person to memorize. Not everyone understands your internal product designations. Just call it something cool and memorable. Otherwise, just, I don't know, just stop with these long numbers and stuff with monitors. Anyway, you're getting great calibration, you're getting great performance, you're getting great color reproduction. Even for content creation, this thing is a beast with Adobe RGB mode. Now, I already know other reviews will come out and disagree with me and they'll have all this pixel peeping stuff, but to be honest, if you love gaming and you want to have a great monitor for your PC and or console with the ability to plug in your laptop or another computer and share your peripherals, and you don't want a TV or a larger display, this monitor is really hard not to recommend, and it kind of redefines what monitors should be able to do as well. But as all good things in the world, all of this always comes at a pretty steep price. You have to pay to play with a monitor like this, but if money isn't an issue, it's really hard not to recommend this thing. It is properly good. Now, if you're interested in grabbing the MSI Optix MPG 321 URQD, they're going for around, well, between $999 to $1,099 US at the time of filming this video. There's no word on Australian pricing yet, and they're slated to release around the time of this video going live, but the product page on MSI's website's not even up yet. That's how kind of new this thing is. Anyways, if you've got any questions about anything I mentioned in this video, do the usual thing, feel free to drop a comment down below. Let us know what you think of the 321 URQD. I'm calling it the 321 URQD because it rolls off the tongue better than whatever the full model number is. It just doesn't make sense to me. Also, and I always add this in monitor videos, we keep this content really simple, nice and easy to digest in this type of format for people who might not understand what everything means, and they might not understand everything that I'm talking about. So we leave decisions and all the money making and all the money spending in your hands. Yeah, not everyone's an expert, and we're kind of here to make that easier for you guys to consume. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, like and subscribe. If you hated it, you know what to do, hit the dislike button twice. Once again, thank you so very much for watching. I'm your boy Nick with Gear Seekers. You peek, we seek, and truly, this thing is a whole lot of fun. It is properly good. Bravo to MSI for like releasing something like this. I've been waiting for a nice 32-inch panel from MSI. The last 4K MSI 32-inch panel they released was a bit of a joke. This thing, yeah, I'm glad they had another crack at this because this is awesome. Thanks for watching.